Yes, yes. That was one of my favorite duets
Yeah.
right there, Heather B.
I know.
Thanks for the memories. Sang by two of my favorite people,
Yes.
one of which I got a chance to meet in public. He won't remember this, but I've always idolized his career choices, the moves he's made as a talk show host, as a game show host.
Yeah.
We used to always watch him and Kathy Lee in the mornings.
Yeah.
Him and Kelly in the mornings.
Yep.
I remember when he hosted the Apprentice 2 finale back in
Oh, shoot.
2004. Yeah, he did that. I've
I
seen.
don't even remember that.
He's done it all, man, and I think he's a testament to how we were just talking about a new show that returned to TV and how
Yes.
it's so much more to being a host than
Just showing up.
just showing up.
Yeah.
To be able to anchor a show and drive people through emotions as ups and downs. I think this dude perfected his craft. And he's here with us today with his lovely wife,
Yeah.
who also have hosted shows alongside him, has done her own thing as well. They have two beautiful kids that are grown now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all grown now. And if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't be who he is today.
Tell the truth.
All right, the one and only Regis and Joy Philbin are here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Joy, I already know what it is. Regis always seems composed and that he got all the answers, but I know at home you're feeding
Now
him.
he's home a lot.
He's home a lot, right?
Yes.
And I'm getting on her nerves.
Are you getting on? What is that like though? After so many, is he getting on your nerves? Because that happened.
No, actually, no. I got used to it. It was a little rough the first 6 months, but then I got into the swing of it.
Yeah.
Got into the swing of
Yeah,
it.
we weren't used to that. We used to go out. Every morning I was gone.
I know you kept doing openings and host
Yeah.
chats, and I said, "It's not Kelly, it's me."
Right. Like, did he ever screw up, like behind closed doors, kissed you and said, "Hey, Kelly, I really love you"? Like, he ever call you by the wrong name?
He called me Kathy once,
Oh.
but a lot of people thought Kathy and I were related.
Uh huh.
They thought that we kind of resembled each other, So Regis, I guess, got confused one day, but we fixed that.
Y'all fixed that, right? Regis, you've always, one of the things I've also always admired is I got to know you. You've always been so transparent, on your shows that you host, and you've always shared your personal life. That's how I got to know Joy. And then even things you went through, right? Today we're going to talk about take cholesterol to heart. And you even talked about your heart disease and what you've dealt with over the years.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And now you're out with this campaign. What is this about?
Well, I mean, it just began way back in 1992, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And I felt it, and boy, oh boy, I was with Kathy Lee. We were down in Florida to do something, and
It was a Carnival Cruise Line commercial.
yeah, that's right. And boy, oh boy, I felt it. I said, wow, this was really tough. So, I spent a couple of days in a hospital
Wait,
down
they
there. that
took you
day.
to the hospital.
She finally came down from New
It
York.
was terrifying when they called and said Regis was in the hospital and he had to have an angioplasty.
Uh-huh.
And that's the way it started. And so the doctor put me on a statin. 25 years. I stayed on that statin. I loved it when I got it. It made me feel good. And then one of them was acting up in the morning, right?
Well, first of all, you were experiencing muscle aches, which, happens sometimes.
That happens,
Yeah.
okay?
And Regis couldn't afford to go off him because his cholesterol went up to 300, which is very high.
Okay.
So, fortunately, and a lot of people don't know this, there are several different statins, and they're not all the same. So
What is a statin?
it's the medication that you take to keep your cholesterol down or to
Okay.
lower it. And so he put him on a different one, and Regis didn't have any side effects.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this campaign, is because we found out that there is an amazing statistic. 50% of people that take or start to take a statin quit within the year.
Yeah, it takes a year for them. And then
Because if they do experience a side effect, instead of going to their doctor and saying, I'm not feeling well or something, let's try another one. We all know heart disease is a big killer.
Well, we just lost Tom Petty.
Yes.
A cardiac arrest,
Arrest, yeah.
and he stopped breathing. So, we know it's
So you don't want to fool with that. I mean, Regis inherited a high cholesterol, but I know that he's about as undisciplined a guy. When it comes to ordering in a restaurant, I don't want to be a watchdog saying you can't have that.
Yeah.
Don't order a steak. But so he's been on this.
Regis, what's up with that?
you can't eat a
Consider
steak.
yourself
Yeah.
a watchdog?
Well, I didn't want to
It's
be.
me, Regis, you're looking after.
But people tell you how good you look.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You look awesome,
You
man.
do.
You both do.
So,
Yeah.
so
Thank you.
if folks want to find out more about this, because you got what over, let me see, high cholesterol affects over 100 million Americans.
Yeah.
100 million.
That's
Yeah.
It's a lot of
wild.
people.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yes, and we're kind of ignoring it. We're not talking about it enough, I feel like, right? And it affects, especially in the black community.
Yeah.
You know, I went and got checked up, and my cholesterol wasn't high yet, but they told
What
me
did they say yours was? Do you remember?
there was a category I needed to watch it. So what does that mean?
Well, like, were you in the 200s?
I don't remember the number, Joy.
But there was a
He
warning.
didn't want to hear it.
I didn't want to hear the number, Joy. Don't be watching me. I'm not the watch. I'm not the dog. You got to watch here, Joy. but is it a? What can they go if they want to find out more about it? Is it a?
There is it's called, as you mentioned, takecholesteroltoheart.com.
Okay.
And if you go on that website, you will find Regis's personal story. There's tips on what you can do to keep your cholesterol down, and also how to talk to your doctor. Stay in touch with him. Don't quit taking it if you find that you have a muscle ache or something, because it can be corrected.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we wanted to get out today
Okay.
in this
All right.
campaign.
Well, I appreciate you, Regis. You know, look at this guy's suit, Heather B.
I
I can't
see.
look
I
at
see
this guy,
looking,
man.
he's
Fly.
looking sharp. I wanted to talk to Regis too. Hi, Regis. I do sports here as well, and we're gonna come back and talk. Oh, Sway's mad at me because I talked about the Raiders this morning.
Okay, we'll come
I'll
back
tell
and
you
talk
about
to Regis.
football
I want to
next,
open up the
Regis.
phone lines, too. 888-742-3345. One of the biggest killers in America, high cholesterol. Make sure you go to www.takecholesteroltoheart.com. You know, find out more information. Regis and Joy Philbin are here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Regis, man, now that I got you here, man, I got to ask you a couple of questions. I know Heather got a question about sports she want to go into.
Yeah.
But we just lost Hugh Hefner. You know, I'm not sure. Did you used to frequent the Playboy Mansion?
Yeah, we were there a lot.
We went to a lot of parties at
Yeah,
his
it
house
was
when we
great.
lived in L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, he was always in silk pajamas.
Uh-huh.
He never disappointed us.
Yeah.
And I think he lived a wonderful, happy life.
With a lot of beautiful women around, as I
Yeah.
recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So you guys were married when you
Yes.
went together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so then is it weird if you guys catch each other looking at other guests? Is that allowed? Not trying to start no
Find it
problems.
horrible.
Get rid of her.
I can't remember one
question.
one occasion that ever happened.
No. No. It was beautiful. I mean, he had the best home there.
Are we talking about anybody now, or are we still talking about Hefner?
Whoa.
There was
Take it where
there
you
were a
want.
lot of beautiful women.
Yeah. Did y'all spend the night there?
No.
Never.
Okay.
No.
So no orgies and nothing like that.
No orgies.
No orgies. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna make this
Okay,
easier,
go.
Regis.
Let's talk about Notre Dame.
We're gonna talk about sports.
Anybody got a statin for me? I could use it right now.
Regis, on Monday, I'll be covering sports here, and I think many of us know you have always been a big Notre Dame fan. And on Saturday, your team, the Fighting Irish, will be taking on North Carolina. Just to hear the world make you make a right prediction, who you taking?
Well,
On
I think
this
Notre
Saturday.
Dame is looking pretty good
Yeah,
lately.
4-1.
They did lose to Georgia. God, that was a tough game. By
Yeah.
one, gee.
Yeah, that was
Oh, my God. But anyway, they're winning everything else. I think they could probably handle. Are they playing at?
They're playing in North Carolina.
And is that where you come from?
No, I come from Jersey.
Uh-huh. No, but Carolina can put out a good team,
Yeah.
too. Well, we'll see. But, they've still got who's the place?
SC is the
SC
one that I
up
fear.
there. And there's one other tough But
Michigan?
Michigan, no.
Michigan State?
Not this year, no. But anyway, they're doing pretty well.
And you're going to take them on Saturday.
I mean, but last year we went to see them, and we took this little guy with us.
William, our grandson.
Our grandson. He wanted to go to Notre Dame. He was 8 years old, so we took him. And he looked around, and Notre Dame in the first quarter went ahead 14-0.
Yeah.
And then in the second quarter, it was 14-14. And then as the game progressed, it was very close.
Tell them who they were playing, though, and why you picked
Playing
them.
Duke.
Oh,
He said, I want to come. I said, well, let me look at this. I want to make sure Notre Dame could handle this. Duke. We could beat Duke.
Yeah.
So it came to the last, the last second. Well, what was it, like 30 seconds in the last part of the game? And Duke kicked a field goal and beat Notre Dame 43-40.
Wow.
And the kid looked at me and said, why do we see this?
Why did they lose,
Why
Ampa?
is Notre Dame losing? Why can't they win? I said, oh, God. And that's the way it began.
Yeah.
man.
You tried.
So anyway, we tried, but I think he lost to Notre Dame, right? Well, Notre Dame lost
Well,
him.
you got both of your kids to go there. That was
Yeah.
something.
That was
wasn't
the
it?
experience, right?
Yeah.
You know, when I listen to Regis talk, I think of like the Bowery Boys, Satch and all. Anybody here with me? Anybody here with me?
Regis is.
You know the Bowery? You remember the Bowery Boys?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
yes. That to me, growing up in Cali, watching those type of programs, all those old programming, is how I thought New York was.
Yeah.
And listening to you remind me of classic New York. How is New York to you now? How has it changed?
Well, I grew up in New York,
Yeah.
In the Bronx.
in the Bronx, and went to Notre Dame, and then from there was
Well, you went to Cardinal Hayes High School.
Cardinal Hayes High School first.
Our Lady of Solace.
All
All
right,
those
Joy,
nice-
please.
Well, you're a nice Catholic boy.
Yeah.
Till he went to that Playboy Mansion.
See what I mean?
Tell us. Yeah.
Can't talk too much about the Playboy Mansion. Anyway, I go out to California. We do the thing in, what was it? The war was going on in, God almighty, I can't even think.
Korea?
In
Where you were.
Korea, yeah. So anyway, I come back, and I get a job at Channel 13. But before that, the guy says, we're not going to be open till
Won't have a job for you until the fall, right?
That's
Isn't
right,
what he
Joy.
said?
You remember
She's
that.
on.
Yo, this is
Wife of
We've
the
been married a
century.
long time.
Well, you weren't around in those days. You were yet to be born.
But I
No.
think I read your book.
Yeah.
Teach me how to be a wife, Joy.
Joy's getting on my nerves. Who invited her? Why is she here? Anyway, so I got a job in NBC, sitting people and all of that, and I got to meet Perry Como, and I loved him, and it was great. But then the time came over for me to go back, make a decision, so I went back to L.A. and stayed there for 28 years. And in the course of being there, I began to write for Baxter Ward, who was the news guy, and then I went to San Diego and said that, is there a thing that I can do on Saturday nights, a show? And the guy said, yeah, but you got to work with us during the week. I said, fine. And so the show got hot. It was on at 11:30 at night on Saturday nights. And that's how I got up here. And
So you went from pushing a broom, you were
Yeah, I
like
was pushing a broom.
stagehand, right?
absolutely.
To having your own show.
Yeah.
All you had to do was ask.
And
There you go. That's
man.
a book in itself.
Kind of nice, isn't it?
then I came back here in 1983. They asked me to come back and do the morning show, which I did for 28 years.
The rest is history.
And so, here I am with you.
Yes, hey! Morning show came all the way back full circle. We got Liam on the line from Florida.
Hey, Liam.
Liam, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing great. What's your question? You can just hold them up to your ear.
Listen, Regis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Leon.
Listen, I got a question for you.
Yeah, let's
How
hear
was
it.
it giving Alicia Keys that smooch when you snuck that on her?
Hey, Liam, you know what I mean?
I didn't know you smooched.
I'm here with the wife. What, you want to talk? You want to talk about baseball or something? What do you want?
We got rid of him.
We got rid of Liam.
Oh, Liam. No.
Liam's a troublemaker,
No,
man.
he's a good guy.
Yeah, all right. Okay, cool. One last caller. We got Shawanda from Michigan on the line. What
Hey,
up, Shawanda?
Shawanda.
Hey.
Hey, Sawanda.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Regis.
Hi, Sawanda.
So I wanted to ask a question kind of for the both of you.
Sure.
I wanted to ask, how did you guys find your balance with you seeming to be the primary breadwinner for so many years and having such an extensive career? I wanted to know if Joy ever felt the torn feeling of, resentment for having to do so much of raising your kids alone, but also feeling ungrateful because obviously your career has provided such an incredible lifestyle for them.
But you understand, I met her during Joey Bishop's show 50 years ago.
Okay,
Wow.
let's just easy.
Go easy. All right.
And I married her.
Yeah.
And we had some children.
Yeah, but first of all, I wanted to make it clear that when I was asked to co-host with Regis, I was fortunate because Kathy Lee took a lot of time off. So did Kelly. So we worked together a lot, and that was fun. I really enjoyed it. So I had no reason to feel resentful, you know. And plus that, I might as well plug my own show. I had my own decorating show called Haven
That's right.
for 10 years.
She was making her own money.
Clapping to that.
So I really had the best of both worlds. I had the kids, 2 little girls, just not liking New York when we first moved here, but they finally got acclimated and came to love it. And we went on all these great trips with the show. Gelman took us to all kinds of places.
He did.
So
Gelman.
it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, Shawanda, thank you for that question. Man, I want to thank you guys for coming. Please.
Yes.
And I know we're here to talk about takecholesteroltoheart.com. Make sure you guys go look it up. Find out information how high cholesterol can be affecting you every single day or somebody in your family circle or even friends and find out ways to avoid it. Regis has been very graceful in sharing his story with us, and you go online and find more about his story if you go on that site. But I want to invite y'all back up because I want to talk about. I love your stories, so
Yeah.
I want to ask about a bunch of. We just lost Jerry Lewis, It's I used to watch a lot of the Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly movies. When they were being made, you were part of that era. So.
Yeah.
Well, so when you come back, I got a lot of other questions.
Absolutely.
And my last name is Calloway, so.
All right, listen, Sway, I want to know where you got that hat.
I'm actually made these hats, Regis. I can make you one, man.
All right, next time I'm back, I want one.
You like my hat?
I want to wear it with you.
Man, there it is. Regis Philbin, my man.
Yay!
Joy, love you. Love you.
Great to meet you, Sway.
Pleasure,
A lot of
Tanya.
fun.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
guys are excellent, man. All right, Sway the Morning Shade 45.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.